So the recording has started, and
Lingam, do we have everybody here? Do we have people missing here?
Yeah, everyone joined the fish.
Okay, perfect.
okay, great. I see only 16 people though. But let people
Right.
join, and um, so if you guys don't have any questions from the previous session, we are going to start for this session. Let me share my screen, and I welcome you to the session. We are today going to talk about the advanced concepts of insurance. In the previous section, we spoke about the basic concepts, and today's session is going to be about the advanced concepts. So let me know if my screen is visible to you all.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let's go ahead and start it. Okay. So again, before I start, I want to tell you guys like why it is important for you to know insurance concept when you are working in any insurance project. It could be GLIC or bankers or PFG or any other project for that matter. Irrespective of the technology used to implement, whether it is EIS or Guidewire, we must know the domain well. And why should we know it? It is because we are using domain driven design. So anywhere you go, in any domain you go, any project you touch, it could be a banking project or it could be a healthcare product. You everywhere you will see that the design is always domain driven. And when I say domain driven design, that means that our data models, everything will be driven by the domain itself. Okay, so even in insurance industry, our domain will be driven by sorry, our design will be driven by the domain, which is insurance in our case. So so it becomes very important for you guys to know your domain before you can actually go ahead and start working in it, right? And the another reason I was giving you is that ubiquitous language, it is used uh, by everyone working in the project. So it could be respective of the role. It could be a BA or a domain expert or an analyst, or it could be any developer or QA, right? Everybody uses this language, ubiquitous language. And I'm going to show you a story also so that you can relate to it whenever the work comes to you. Uh, Let me open a couple of stories. So here is one story I'm going to show you. So suppose this story is assigned to me, but if I go there and try to read, right, whenever there is a new business endorsement or reinstatement with lapse quote filled with data and according to system rules, the income documentation required. So if I don't understand my domain, right, these wordings will not make sure any meaning to me, right? Uh, assessment tab, all those things, right? If I read this story, I would not know like what I have to do. So this becomes very important that everybody working in the project, they should be knowing this language. We call it ubiquitous language. Okay, because we are naming it like that because so that everybody, including the designer, the developer, QA, they speak in one language. And whenever QA is talking to suppose business analyst or PO, and they should use the same language, and that is the language of business we are using. Okay, so it becomes really important that you pay attention and try to learn all these concepts about insurance. Okay, again, if you will go and try to read your domain model or your class diagram, you will always find these wordings which are so when you are saying working for a hospital, you will have a kind of patient and you will have doctor, nurses, front desk staff, technicians. So if you don't understand the domain, right, you will never be able to understand the code. And let me actually show you if I have it open. My IntelliJ, I'll give you one example so that it's very clear for you to know why you are reading, why you have to know insurance basics. So if I go to a class and I see this is the method validate requirements. So here, if I see this method validate requirement, right, what it does is it takes the requirement policy as the input, right? And what it does is it validates some requirements. So those requirements could be system requirements, right? Or it could be manual requirement or a delivery requirement. It could be any requirement, but the job of this function is to validate the requirement for me. And irrespective of how it does, how it does validate system requirement. I just call that method, and my requirements will be validated. Again, I don't need to know how this method is implemented. I just call this delivery requirements validation method to check my requirements. So again, I'm showing you this code also so that whenever you are coding, right, you are always coding in the business terms. Where you are writing methods, it has to be a specific name based on the business requirement and not ABC method, right? Like the way we used to do in our college, we can write any method name and start coding. And the variable name also, like we will code like int I, int j, all those things. I think we will have to give up on those things, and we will have to start writing uh, based on our domain whichever we are working on, so that it is understandable by anyone. So if a business analyst come here and try to see with this particular method what it is trying to do, by just reading out this method name and the variable names like system requirement with failed rule set, so they will know like, oh, this is a set and this contains a system requirement with failed rule, right? So your naming conventions have to be based on the domain which you are working on. So it becomes really important that you know the domain, the business terms, right? In case it is insurance. So now let's go ahead and see the insurance workflow, how it works. So whenever a customer wants to buy insurance, or suppose a company wants to sell an insurance, right? There are two parties we are talking about. One is the buyer and one is the seller. Okay. So the buyer, in this case, it could be any individual or a firm, depending on who is trying to buy that insurance. So they will always have to fill out a form. So it will always start from filling the form, and then once the form is filled, there has to be some payment made that I want to go ahead and buy this insurance policy. So we call in insurance terms, we call that fee payment as premium, right? If you might have some policies around life, or you can have medical insurance policy given by your company, you are paying a premium for that policy every month, or it could be yearly payment, right? Depending on the payment method. So once the customer fills this insurance form and they fill their payment, you are eligible to buy that insurance policy, right? But before that, before you buy your insurance company, insurance product or the policy, insurance company always analyzes the risk associated with that data you have filled in. So suppose you are driving a car, and you have had multiple accidents, or a driver is driving very rashly, and he have had many accidents in the past. So as an insurer, I will always try to see, okay, what is the risk if I'm going to insure this particular risk item. Okay. So company will analyze everything, and once the insurance company accepts that risk, then they will issue the receipt and they will issue the insurance policy. And I'm going to show you in little more detail about this workflow. But here I wanted to show you the complete flow of first is this billing. Billing will happen once you have your policy in place, right? And then for insurance claims, right? So suppose you have this insurance policy now, and your car is damaged or the risk item is damaged. So for that, you want to file a claim. So you will fill out a form again for your claim, and then you'll send it to company. Again, company will investigate whether the claim is a valid claim or not, or if the insurance policy actually covers that risk which you are trying to claim for. So if it is not covered, they have the right to refuse. But if you are eligible, they will make the payment to you based on the damage which has happened, right? So this is one cycle. Okay. Sorry about the background noise. Okay. So this is one flow of the policy of by paying a payment and also filing a claim. Okay. So every policy has a validity. We call it policy term. So suppose when you are buying a policy for your car insurance, right? It's mostly almost like valid for 1 year. So similarly, there are other terms you can have for your policy. It could be a yearly or it could be 5 year. Disability generally is a longer one, and every year you are renewing your medical policy also. So the policy term is the validity of that policy. Okay, after the policy is expired or the validity is gone, you again have to file for a renew insurance. So then again you have to go through the same cycle, that you will have to buy the insurance again, so that you can have your risk item covered again. Any questions on the insurance workflow? Okay. Karthik, are we good? What I'm saying is clear. I'll talk more about policy in session. But here I wanted to give you a full flow before I start talking about policy.
Vijay, I guess you missed renew insurance.
Yeah, renew insurance is what I was talking about in the last talk. Like renew happens if the policy term expires, right? Or the policy is no more valid. So the policy term has expired. After that, a company starts the renew insurance process. Actually, it starts even before the expiration date. So it actually starts 1 month in advance. So they send out the documents to client saying that, you know, your policy, such and such policy is going to expire on such and such date. If you want to renew your policy, you can go ahead and make the payment so that we can renew your policy. Okay, this is that flow. Again, after renew, you will have to buy the policy again, and then it starts again. Your policy will be active. Okay. Let me go ahead and then let's talk about more policy flow here. Okay, so once an insurance company gets the application, right? So what happens after that? Now let's put the hat of an insurance carrier, like the insurance company, and see how they are working behind the scenes to generate the policy for us. Okay, so once the policy received is or the application is received by the insurance company, they will verify the details, as I mentioned earlier. So there are some people in the insurance company, there are multiple departments. Like in the software industry, we have multiple departments. Here we have QA teams, and then the development teams. They are all working for one project typically, and there could be multiple projects in a company. Similarly, in insurance company, there are multiple departments and there are multiple people working on for insurance. And there I'll just go in details also about underwriter, but at the moment, just understand that these are the people who analyze the risk associated with the policy. They analyze the policy, like whatever details you have filled in the application form here, right? That will come to the underwriters in insurance company. They will analyze the risk that whatever the application has come to them. They will see, okay, these are the details which are filled by customer, and is this risk we can cover, or can we, in other words, can we issue a policy against this risk? Okay, so they have the right to risk accept or risk reject. So if risk is rejected, customer will be informed, and that they cannot be issued uh, the insurance policy based on the data they have filled in. Okay, it could be for XYZ reason. There could be multiple reasons that they can these underwriters can understand, and they can take the decision. But if they accept the risk, the quote will be generated for you, and once customer accepts that quote, right, as a policy, and actually make the payment also here, then we generate a policy. Like we means the insurance company, they generate the policy number and they send the policy documents to the customer. Okay, there are multiple things happening, and I think people working in EIS, they might have worked on the document generation part also. Okay, so whenever we are generating any policy number, corresponding policy documents will be generated and sent to the customer, so that customer receives this contract. So at the end of the day, as mentioned in my first session, that insurance is nothing but a contract between two parties, an individual or a company and the insurance carrier. Okay, so this document will be that contract, that you have signed a contract and you are issued a policy. Any questions on the policy flow from the company side, like the insurance company? They will follow this process. Any questions on this? Like these are the these are the things which happen in the background from the insurance company side, and we will go in more detail on how underwriting things happen and all. Okay. But these are the keywords you will be encountering in your project often, right? And you must understand the meaning of it. So let me actually go ahead and talk about the people working in insurance policy. Now I'm only going to talk about the policy. I'm not talking about billing or claim at the moment. Of course, these are like different departments, and I'm going to only talk about policy in this session. And in future session, maybe I can talk about billing or claim also. But most of our projects are in policy at the moment, right, Piyush? Do we have any billing or claim project at the moment?
No, not much. We do
Okay.
have some billing, I believe, in bankers, but not
Okay.
extensive. So I think we can just concentrate on policy for
Policy.
now.
Okay, cool. So let's see who are the people working in the policy side of insurance. And as I had mentioned, there are different parties involved in insurance, right? The first party being, of course, the customer who is getting insured, right? Who has some risk item to be covered. And then there is the second party, which is insurance company, who identifies that they can cover that risk, and they can make out some profit because there will be so many people buying that policy, right? And not everyone will be filing the claims, so they can make out some money out of this business, and that's why they start these insurance companies. They are the second party. Okay. And what is third party is any other party involved about that particular risk item becomes our third party. So in your, I think, car insurance or bike insurance, you might have seen that, if you go and try to buy some coverages, there might be some third party liability coverage, right? Which is again that saying that this coverage will cover your third party. So suppose if your car hits some other car, all right, so you are insured, but the other car you hit, that car might not be insured, but that becomes a third party, and the insurance company is actually liable to pay it to third party if you have that coverage. Understood? Or any confusions? Any questions? So see, this thing will be or should be very clear when you are working in insurance. Uh, uh, in EIS particularly, how they have done is they have designed it in such a nice way that one party could be utilized at many places. So they have separated out this party from the main or the root entity. So you once you create a party in your system, this party, first party, it could buy multiple insurance policies, right? Not just like medical insurance. They can buy car insurance, they can buy any other policy. So the system is designed in such a way. So you must understand what is a party, and only then you will be able to relate all of these things when you are working in insurance. Yeah, any questions? Okay, I'll show you sometimes in EAS also, if I get a chance. But
Right.
at this,
So,
yeah,
yeah. Um no, I think we should have more questions coming in, right?
yeah. I mean,
We
there
have
should.
people who have worked on insurance projects. I think we need more interaction here.
So I think I might be very clear, Piyush. So
Mhm.
people are not having question, is it? Okay, I'll take
Suppose
it. Mhm.
suppose the first party is not he didn't do the insurance, like
Mhm.
he did some damage to the like some another car.
Mhm.
So how in this case how it will have what will happen? Third
Uh,
party have insurance.
Third party has insurance, so they
Yes.
can actually file a case on this first party. They are legally obliged to pay the damages. The first party. Okay.
So if they have insurance, they can claim through insurance.
Correct.
Otherwise, they need to pay like
They need to pay it from their pocket. So they are
Yes.
legally liable to pay that payment, either through insurance, like third party will need that damage, right? Because the first party so there is a concept of who is at fault. So if third party is at fault, then first party actually is supposed to receive that money, right? So they don't, then nothing will be involved, like they're not legally in any bondage. But if they are at fault, right? First party is at fault, then they will have to make the payment either through the insurance company or from their pocket, right? Clear?
Yes.
Okay. So again, it's a good concept of fault also. If you have worked in the auto insurance, actually there is a field and it holds a great value, that is at fault. Who is at the fault? So if the first party is who has the insurance, right? If they are at fault, then insurance company will make the payment on their behalf. So this is a very important field. So if you have seen data gather, actually, let me go ahead and show it to you if I have it. My local, let me see if it is. Okay, I have it for disability. I will quickly show you what I'm talking about. So if I take action and take data gather, this data gather is the application as an individual or a company. I am making an application to the insurance company. So I'll have to fill out all these details about policy and insured and the plan definition, which we were talking about, the coverage, which coverages are included. Third party coverage, is it included in my policy or not? Whether fire coverage is included, like if you are buying the insurance for your house or car, theft coverage also is there, right? So similarly, there could be multiple other coverages which will be defined under your plan. Then these are part B is specific to PFG for disability. Then premium summary again is a very common tab where you will see all the premium related information. Okay. So again, what is this? This is the data gather. We call it data gather because here, see if you see my code, this is a code and it is in data gather mode because here I am trying to collect the data from customer before I can tell them like what is their premium or before I can issue the policy. Okay, so in industry there would be a field somewhere under plan definition or somewhere, or it could be under insured or driver. At fault is what I wanted to tell you guys, that this pays a great importance. Every field actually you see here, right, in data gather is very important for the insurance company to know before they can issue the policy. Okay, so this is data gather. And any questions on what is data gather? I will go in the details sometimes later, but here just wanted to give you a quick view of how the data gather looks like.
Which one small doubt, like here we have like a backdating, right? Backdating.
Correct.
You meant to say like the previous date, for example, a month before onwards, that should be effective in the sense.
Correct.
We need to check that one.
Yes, that is correct. This is basically to tell for the reporting purpose that this particular policy is backdated.
Okay.
Or it started in the past. Right?
Okay.
Yeah. So you can have multiple fields, like depending on business requirement, whatever business asks us, like, okay, we need to capture this data from customer to issue this particular policy. So all of those data points should be captured in some of the field here. Okay, that is why we are calling it data capture.
And another one, close out date in the sense the policy ended date.
Actually, this is specific to disability.
Okay.
Actually, generally policies, like if you go and try to buy out a car insurance, right? It will be generally delivered in minutes, right?
Oh, yeah.
This particular policy, like disability insurance, this is a complicated insurance and generally takes around 1.5 months to close out. So this is that close out date, like how much time you will take to close out this particular case.
Okay.
So generally, once you fill the data, it will be verified by underwriters and other people in the organization. And once all the verification happens, only then this policy will be issued. So this is like not a simple policy, but a complicated case. But ignore these fields, okay, for now. Okay. So let me go back to the parties. So any questions on the party? Okay. So let's talk about more people who are involved. So remember, we are now talking about the people involved in the insurance from the policy side. Okay. Uh, so before you sell your policy, right? As a company, suppose I am the insurance company, and I want to attract customers. So one way is I will go online and try to sell it on my portal, right? But other than that also, I can ask other people who are into this specific business to get more customers to me. So you might have seen the property agents, right? So people who are buyers and seller, they both approach the property agent. If suppose you want to buy some property, so you approach some property agent to show the property in that particular area, and they will be showing you the properties around that area. So agent is basically that job, right? They are working on behalf of the company, right? The insurance company, to sell policies. Okay, so as an insurance company, I will hire some agents who will help me get more customers. Okay, and similar concept is about broker also. That these brokers, I'm contacting many brokers to get me more business in the sense more customers, so that I can sell more and more policies, right? So the difference between agent and insurance here is that an insurance agent, like if you might have seen like LIC agents, right? So LIC made this business really popular. That they are working with agents, and these agents approach people that LIC is selling so and so policy. Would you be interested? So generally, agent is associated with a particular company. So in this case, like LIC insurance agent, they are mostly associated with LIC only. They are not selling the insurance policies for say Bajaj Allianz, right? Or Tata Group's insurance companies. They are only tagged with insurance company, specific insurance company. It could be LIC or any other company. But brokers, they are not tied to any particular company, and they work on customers' behalf. So suppose I want to buy an insurance as a customer, I go to insurance broker. They will show me different quotes from different companies. So I will say I'll approach insurance broker and say like, I want to buy life insurance. So they will suggest me, okay, this Tata insurance company, they are willing to give this insurance for this premium and these details. LIC, you can buy this policy for these terms and condition and this premium. Okay, Bajaj Allianz, this much you will have to pay. And so they are not specific to any particular company. They work on behalf of the client. Client is the buyer of the policy. So this is the basic difference between agent and broker. And you should be actually, when you are working in your system, you will see that, brokers and agents, you will have to fill in like, where did this policy originated from? Did it come through insurance agent or insurance broker? So in case if it is coming from our portal only, like so suppose I'm working for XYZ insurance company, and if a customer buys the policy through their portal, they don't have to pay any commission, right, to anyone. But if it comes through insurance agent or insurance broker, insurance company is liable to pay some amount of money or the profit to the agent or the broker. So we will be talking about commission in EIS or in any other tool. When we are implementing any insurance product, we will be always saying what is the commission for the agents or the broker, if it has originated or come through agent or broker. So are these people clear? Who are these people and how and why they are working in insurance?
So, Vijay, one question. So, this application
Hmm.
which we develop, who are the primary user of this application? Is it the brokers or the end users who are getting insured? Who are the primary uh, users
So
of this
the
application?
primary users of so basically what Piyush is asking is the application I was showing you here, right? This is my PFG app basically. So who are the users of this particular software where I can buy, issue an insurance policy, or I can do a billing or the claim part, and I could generate reports and all. So who are the users of this particular tool? So the answer to that question is mostly it is the PFG employees. Okay, or they can give it out to third party. Like there are certain third parties which are saying like we will help you out, handle all the insurance cases for you know, and you don't have to take the burden on yourself. But in mostly all the cases what we have seen is the employees of that insurance company who will
Right.
be.
So, basically, there are
Hmm.
two categories, right? So, you have agents and you have brokers.
Hmm.
So agents can be somebody who is inside the company or independent agents, and then you have broker agencies, a
Uh-huh.
firm which is in the market, and like like how you have the LIC agents, right? You have LIC employed agents also. You have independent agents also, which are working as contractors, or they are getting some commissions for each.
Correct. This is agency
Yeah, yeah.
policybazar.com, right?
This is
So
aggregator. This is aggregator.
but they do the job of a broker only, yeah.
They have
Except,
they are a broker firm. Yeah, they're also a broker
correct,
firm.
correct. They are a broker firm, so they do that business only, yeah.
Right.
So through them, right, you can buy any insurance. It could be term life insurance, and they will offer you quotes from multiple vendors. Like they will, once you fill your data, right, they will show you the data from different vendors. In the sense, like it could be uh, XYZ insurance company. It could be Tata or Bajaj Allianz or LIC, New India Insurance Company. All those quotes they will show you. So they are brokers. We call it aggregator is another term, Piyush, but they actually do the broker thing only.
Right, right. So basically, what is happening is you have brokers. It's
Hmm.
yeah, it's more of a digital form of brokers now, which is
Correct.
Policy Bazaar and all these. But
Hmm.
essentially, they are at the core. They are brokers. Exactly.
Correct. Yeah.
Agents are mainly people who can only assist one insurance carriers. Brokers
Correct.
is a firm where you can have multiple such insurance carriers. You can have options,
Correct.
different carriers.
Correct. So
Yeah.
in simpler words, insurance agents are associated with the company they are working for. Insurance
Right.
brokers are associated with the customer they are working for. That is the basic difference.
Right.
And
Vijay,
uh
without a broker and agent also we can take a policy, right?
yes, yes. So that is what I was mentioning, that through the company's portal, you can buy the policy. In that case, you don't have to pay any commission to anyone because the customer directly approached your company, right? And then you don't have to pay any commission. But if it comes through agent or broker, you are liable to pay them commission.
So customers should be aware of like what policy is taking, what are the things like, then only they can do these kind of things. Otherwise, you need to approach agent or broker.
Correct. Correct. If they have their information on hand, right? So if as a customer, I have all the information and I know what policy I want to buy, I can directly go to the company's portal and buy it, right? But if I don't have any information, I generally approach brokers like Policy Bazaar, yeah, generally in our India's case, right? Or the LIC agents are the people who approach people. Like, I was approached by many LIC agents like, okay, this policy is there, sir, you can buy. So either way, but yeah, customer has the option to buy it through the company's portal, or they can directly go to any of the company's office and then they can try to buy it there as well.
Right.
And
So yeah, and then when it is total, right? What basically is happening is that you would have a policy admin system. It could be either could
your
be
voice is low, Piyush.
Can you hear me now?
A little better, yeah.
Okay, so I was saying when it comes to portal, it is basically the integration between between a website and backend. You can have you normally have a policy admin system. So EIS is nothing but a policy admin system. Okay, which is primary users are either agents or brokers. Okay. Um, yeah.
Any questions, guys, on this? These are the things actually you will be implementing it in the system. Okay. These combinations. All things I'm telling is from the insurance perspective. And whenever you're working on any system, you will be providing the solutions and you will be writing the code for all these implementations. So these things should be very clear to you guys. Okay. So let's move ahead and talk about other people's in the business. And as I was mentioning that underwriter. So let's try to understand what are underwriters, right? And then the next slide, I will talk about the job they do. Okay. So underwriting, let me just read out this definition. Underwriting is the process of evaluating the risk of insuring a home, car, driver, or individual in the case of life insurance or health insurance to determine if it's profitable for the insurance company to take the chance of providing coverage providing coverage. So basically, these are the people that are saying that, okay, I have received this much this policy document or the application form. Based on this data, will my company get some benefit or not? Or will I earn some profit from the company side or not? So there will be thousands of such applications, and my job is to go through each application and make sure that whatever risk we are trying to cover, at the end of the day, the insurance company is at profit. Okay, but otherwise also we have seen, like, in 2008 when we had the Great Recession. In that, AIG was one of the company, which was American Insurance Group. It was one of the company who had filed for bankruptcy. So why they went for bankruptcy is because they were not earning much profit by selling all these policies. So this is the job of underwriter to make sure that my insurance company, where whatever risk they are covering, at the end of the day, they make some profit out of selling this insurance policy. Okay, how do they do it? We will see it in the next slide. So what is underwriter's job or a day in the life of an insurance underwriter is that whatever application they receive, right, or the insurance company receive, there will be actually hundreds of insurance underwriters in a company, and each one will be, there will be thousands of applications received in a day. So they will be assigned few applications in each day. What is their job is they go through each application. They research all the data, whatever is provided to them, right, in as part of that application. They research that that data. They assess applicant's risk. Okay, these are the risk which is client customer is asking for, and this is my applicant's data. Based on these two things, right, whatever coverages customer is asking for and whatever applicant's data they have provided, is it profitable for me to offer this insurance or not? This is their job. This is underwriter's job, and there are hundreds of underwriters each, and there are actually different type of levels of underwriters. So when I say levels, there could be basic underwriters where they see like minimum risk. Wherever there is a minimum risk about the policy, they can take a decision. Okay, and as the level increases, like there are generally level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up to it goes to 15 also I have seen. So the level at 1 will be deciding about the lowest risk, but the underwriter who is sitting at the highest level, 15 level, they will be deciding about the highest possible risk in the insurance business. Okay, it also depends on their experience with the underwriting. Okay, and why they are called underwriter is this is a very interesting concept. Okay, so whenever insurance document is received, and I think Piyush also mentioned in the last session that they go through the applications and they sign at the end of the document. So they are called underwriters because they sign it at the end of the document. This they so under the they are actually writing their name under the document. So that is why they are saying we are calling them underwriter. That is how the name originated. Okay, but they are signing that. What are they signing for? Is that this particular risk I am going to cover, and at the end of the day, my company is going to be at some profit. Any questions on underwriters? This is a this has to be very clear because there will be many tickets assigned to you guys that about underwriters rules or other implementations you are going to do in system. So what are underwriters and what is their job? It should be very clear to you, and their levels. There are different type of different levels of underwriters, and it should be very clear to you guys.
Okay. Vijay, as you mentioned, like talking about profit. So like
Mhm.
every time underwriter has to check for like profit and all.
Yes, that is their primary job.
So like company should get the profit. Like we should not lose some money from our side, our end like
So
that.
actually, they cannot decide on that because there are multiple factors, right? They cannot foresee that, if you're buying a car insurance, they cannot foresee that this car is going to have some accident. But based on the data you have provided for the driver, how many accidents that particular driver had in the past? What is the probability of, having accidents in the insurance I'm going to sell? That kind of probability they will check. Okay, and they might even increase the premium also based on the input given by the customer. So suppose I'm going to buy a car insurance, but I have made 10 accidents in past 1 year. So they will say, okay, this is a very risky driver. I don't want to give you insurance. Even they can decide like, oh no, I don't want to give you insurance. You are a rash driver. Or they can say like, even if I am offering you the insurance, I will charge you more premium. Then I can sell you the policy. Okay, but they have the authority to even reject the insurance policy. Okay, so if
Yes.
any other question on underwriter and what is the underwriter job before I move
Vijay,
ahead?
I have a question.
Uh-huh.
Like whether the customer is coming directly or through broker or agent, whether it will go to underwriter first
Yes,
or
every court has to go through them.
okay. It doesn't matter whether they're coming directly or through
Uh,
broker or agent.
so it will be, so suppose like you have your application form filled in, right?
Yeah.
And out of that application form, system will decide is there any risk or the where underwriter's input is needed. Okay, so suppose a customer is really good, he has no made no accidents in past, right? And that customer is coming to buy the insurance, right? There is no job for underwriter to do here. Company can get the data, all the data, right? And system now our system has to be intelligent enough to know that this particular policy doesn't need to go to underwriters, and that is where, as an implementer, we will be writing few rules. Okay, this particular case, it should go to underwriter level 1, it should go to underwriter level 2, it should go to underwriter level 15, right? If it is the highest risk. So we will be implementing that thing. Okay, and if there is no risk, right, to ensure that policy, it won't go to any underwriter, even not to the level 1, irrespective of where the quote was originated from, whether it is originated from portal or agent or through broker, it doesn't matter. Okay. So source of the policy doesn't matter. What matter is what the data comes in that policy. Okay, and depending on that, system can take a call whether underwriter's input is needed, and if it is needed, at what level it is needed. Okay. Any other question? Okay, cool. And these are very nice questions. Uh, thanks for asking those. So let's go ahead and talk about actuary now. Let me read out the definition first, and then I'll explain what it is. Okay, an actuary is a person who analyzes risk and plans for the financial security of people and businesses. Actuaries look at the past and the present to predict what will be needed in the future. Okay, now this is a very fine job, and to give you an idea of what kind of job it is, let me tell you number of actuaries. I was just searching. See, the total number of actuaries in India, a country of 1.3 billion people, right? We only have 458 registered actuaries in India. That means it is a very fine job, and it is a skillful job. And only 458 people in India have that skill. What is that skill is that you need to analyze lot of data and decide on the premium you should be asking the customer depending on the data they have filled in. So suppose there is an application comes to me, to insurance company, and insurance company now need to decide on what is the premium I need to ask. So suppose I as a 39-year-old guy want to buy the life insurance company. Depending on my age, my premium will be more. It is in comparison to the to a younger guy. So suppose if a 29-year-old guy wants to buy the policy, the same all the same parameters, only the age is different. Right? He's also earning the same amount of money and everything is same. He's working in the software industry, but he's just 29 and I'm 39. Depending on that age factor, my premium will be different, because for life insurance, the insurance company will know that 29-year-old person has more chances to live for more years instead of a 39-year guy. And actuaries are the people who take these premium decisions, how much premium it should be increased. So if my age is varying from 29 to 35 to 39 to 45, at what age I should be charging what premium to the customers. So this is the job of actuary. Okay. And it's a very fine job, very skillful job, and only very few people can acquire that kind of skill. And in the next slide, I'm going to talk about how they do it. Right. So how they do it, they use a lot of math, statistics, and financial theory to collect and analyze data. So they will be given all the historical financial data, right? And they will have to go through it, and then they will also have to determine the probability of certain events occurring. So suppose now in Japan, right? If you go and try to buy a house insurance, it will be costlier than buying it in India, because Japan is prone to earthquakes, right? So all those kind of probabilities they will have to see to give that how much probability is there to certain events to happen. So generally, like in a earthquake prone area, you will be paying more premium than the areas which are not prone to earthquakes. Okay, and then they are estimating the cost or risk of certain events. So as I gave you an example of earthquake, right? So depending on that, they will be saying, okay, uh, this area is prone to more earthquakes, or suppose there is an accident prone area, right? So if a vehicle is trying to uh, buy insurance from that particular area, they will have to pay more premium. Okay, and these are the people who will decide in it in the insurance company. But when we are implementing the insurance product, we will have to know what is an actuary and what is their job. Any questions or confusion on what is actuary and what is their job?
Vijay, one small note. Actually, in the sense like a data scientist and a data analyst, we have some roles, right? The job is
Correct.
similar to the thing.
Similar to that thing, but they are more towards the financial analyzing the data.
Only statistical and financial.
Correct. There could be different type of data. These people are mostly looking into the financial
Finance
part.
sector.
Correct.
Vijay, will underwriters use
And actually, this data, like determining the probability of a certain events occurring, this is not non-financial, and they also analyze this data. So you're right, you can call them data analyst, but they are particularly looking it from the insurance perspective. Whether this particular area or risk I can cover, and how much premium I should be charging to my client.
It means like based on the domain, what are all the impacted areas for related to the domain, they will be having a knowledge on.
Correct. The actuaries are specific to insurance only.
Yes.
Okay. Any other question on actuary? I will just actually do a quick recap also, so that you guys know what I'm talking about. Now let's, after talking about the people, right, let me just quickly go through it again. So what are the people working in insurance company? First, we spoke about different parties in insurance. First party being the person who is getting insured. Second party is the party who is insuring the first party. And then third party could be any other third party involved other than these two parties. Okay, and then we spoke about agents and brokers. We found out that agents are the people who are associated with a particular company, and they are trying to sell insurance policies on behalf of that particular company. Whereas in broker, they are not associated with a particular company, but they can help an individual decide on which insurance they want to go with and with which company. Okay, these are called insurance brokers. And these are the people who are helping insurance company to sell more policies. Okay, and then we spoke about underwriters. Underwriters are the people who are deciding on the risk part, whether I can insure this particular risk or not. And there are different levels of underwriters in a company, and each starting from the lowest to highest, like 1 to 15 generally. And one is associated with the less risk, and highest number represent the highest risk possible in the insurance. Okay, and we saw underwriter's job. They do analyze the applications whatever are received, and they decide on whether they can offer the insurance based on the application form they have received. And then we saw actuaries. Actuaries are the person who are deciding on the premium part of it, is depending on the financial complexity, you can call it, of the application received, or in general actually of an insurance product. So suppose if I'm as an insurance company, I want to now start insurance for life insurance, right? So I will hire some actuary to decide on my rate, so that it could be competitive enough, but still at profit to me. Okay, so they also actually also decide on the competition part, like as an XYZ company is offering this much premium for this particular case, so can I offer little less, or so that I can be in competition. So that is actuary's job. So these are the people involved. Let's move ahead. Any questions on the people?
Vijay, like as you mentioned, underwriting and actuaries, like so like you already mentioned, like underwriter, he will analyze the risk and he will go for like is there any profit things?
Correct.
Is there any things like we can increase from our end? So like
Correct.
that. So like based on the past experience. So like as you mentioned, like actuaries also, actual guys also, like they are also deciding on the premium part. So like who is first and who is next? Like because both are doing the same thing, right? Almost.
No. Actually, their job doesn't overlap. It seems to overlap, but actually, job, if you see, is about how much premium I should be charging, depending on particular factors. Like age could be a factor, or the area could be a factor, depending on whether that area is earthquake prone or not, or fire prone or accident zone. Depending on these things, right? Actually, will take the call. And these people actually, when you are designing the product, so suppose as an insurance company, I want to design life insurance product, I will hire some actuary to decide on my premium for each case. Okay, whereas the Underwriters, so this their job is done. Actually, job actually is done once I implement this product in the system, and I have all the premium decided. Like for these many cases, I want to charge this much premium.
No, even underwriter
Whereas
also.
underwriter job come into the picture only when we start selling the policies, and when we start receiving the application. In that particular application, I would say like how many accidents a given person has made. Is this particular insurance policy we are trying to sell, uh, are we going to be at loss? Because this person is going to file 10 claims. So today I'm going to sell him 1,000 rupees policy, or say 10,000 rupees policy. But at the end of the year, he will be filing the claim for 1 lakh rupees. So I'll have to pay it from my pocket. So here they are not deciding on the premium part of it; they are deciding on the risk part of it,
Okay.
whether this particular risk is acceptable to me or not.
Yes, then it is fine for underwriter.
Yes.
Actually, he will decide about premium.
Actually is first. They are the people who decide on the premium part when the product is getting implemented. When the product is implemented, then it is underwriter. They will decide on the particular application. Right? Actually, we'll work on the product itself, the complete product.
So
And they
first
will decide.
actuary will come, next then later underwriting will come.
Correct. When we start selling the policy, then underwriter will come in the picture. Okay. Actually will be before we implement that. Before we start selling any policy, every rate will be decided. They are mostly working in the rating side. Okay. So let's talk about, let's see how much time we have left. So we have a couple of minutes left. So do you want to go ahead further, or shall we plan another session to go ahead? I have a few more details.
We can plan another session now, Vijay. We have
Yeah.
another meetings. So,
Okay, sure. So any questions so far out of these people who are working in insurance, the parties, right? Or in general on the workflow, or it could be a policy workflow, or policy, or it could be complete flow billing claim. Any questions around this, whatever we have spoken today? Okay, I guess not. So we are at almost at time. So what I will do is, in the next session, I will tell you more about some insurance concepts, advanced insurance concept, like what is a cancellation of policy and reinstatement of a policy, and what is a quote and what is a policy. And in the next session, I will take you to the EIS itself, like how EIS has implemented insurance solutions. Okay, and EIS is just one of the implementers. There are other in the market, like Guidewire has tried to implement their solution for the insurance in the way they understand business. Okay, similarly, there are actually multiple insurance companies, like Liberty or the other companies. They also have their own core product which they have developed. Okay, other than these solution providers, like EIS is one of the insurance solution provider, and then Guidewire is another one. So similarly, many companies have their in-house development as well. Okay, so from next session onward, we will talk more about how we can implement these insurance solutions using EIS. Okay.
Okay, Vijay.
Okay, then let me stop the recording. Do I stop? Okay, so I have stopped. Okay, before we drop any question?
recording.
Sure, Lingam, I'll share it to this group. I'll upload it in the Google Drive, and then I'll share the link.
Yeah, thanks, Vijay. Thanks a lot.
Sure, sure. Thank you guys for attending the session.
Thanks, Vijay. Thanks a lot.
Thanks.
Thank you, Vijay.
Thanks, Vijay. Thanks, everyone.
Sure.
Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you, Vijay.